Hi everyone. Today Salesforce development day 10. Today and tomorrow it will be development. Let's see today's agenda. We'll quickly go through the previous development session and we'll talk about the Apex detail, Visualforce Page, Visualforce tag, and what are the attributes, and decode any Visualforce tag, capture user details on the Visualforce page, how to capture the user details on the Visualforce page, Apex image Visualforce tag, and we will see Apex image attribute, and also we will learn about the Apex tabPanel Visualforce tag and what are the attributes for the Apex tabPanel, and also we'll see the Apex tab Visualforce tag and what are the attributes, quiz, homework, and today's interview question. Okay, so quickly, what did we learn last class in the development?
Apex param.
Output link. Param.
Param, output link,
Output link.
output text,
Output text.
parent components.
URL function, URL for function, now function.
Yeah, so we have learned the Apex output and Apex output link. We have seen the Apex param, and we have also seen the functions. So that is what we have learned. Today we are going to focus total 4 Visualforce tag. One is Apex detail, Apex image, Apex tabPanel, Apex tab. So first one, let's see the Apex detail. So Apex detail is a self-closed Visualforce tag. Why do we use the Apex detail Visualforce tag? We use this Apex detail Visualforce tag to display the standard detail page for a particular object. When I say standard detail page, that means when I click on the record, when I click on the particular record, whatever the detail section is there, to view along with the fields and the data, everything, I need a same structure. As it is there in the classic, we need a same structure of the, along with the field, buttons, data, everything should be displayed if I use a Apex detail. So Apex detail is a Visualforce tag to display the standard detail page for the particular object. If I pass a record, it should display exactly same as the record detail page, how it shows in the classic. So this is how it is going to display if I use the Apex detail Visualforce tag. What are the attributes of the Apex detail? ID. As usual, every component has, every Visualforce tag has a ID. This is an identifier that allows the detail component to be referenced by the other component in the page. Second one is inline edit. Inline edit is nothing but similar like in Lightning. If I hover on the field, it should show a pencil icon. So inline edit is the attribute which is expects the Boolean value here. What it does, it controls whether the component supports inline editing or not. Next one is related list. Now, when we go to the particular record in Salesforce, after the detail section, if you scroll down in the classic, what will happen? First, it will show the detail section with the buttons and everything. Below, it shows all the related list, related cases, related opportunity, related contacts, everything it will show here. So in case if we wanted to see along with the detail section, if we wanted to see the related list also, then we have to use the attribute called related list. Boolean value that specifies whether the related lists are included in the component. If true, the related lists are displayed. If it is not specified, if you are not going to specify this attribute, then by default it is a true. That means it will show the related list along with the details information, along with the record details. It is also shows the related list. And the next one is subject. Subject is the ID of the record that should provide the data for this component. The ID of the record that should provide the data for this component. I will practically show what is the subject here. It's basically a reference ID. In subject, we are passing the ID of the record, ID of the record, like a 18-digit ID or 15-digit ID. We are passing the ID of the record where it should show the data in that component. What are the data is displayed in the Apex detail. If you provide an ID here, it will be displayed the same information. Now, show charter. Show charter is another attribute. It's a Boolean type of attribute. What it does, it is a Boolean value that specifies whether to display the charter information and controls for the record. So in Salesforce, if you switch to the classic, when you open the record, when you open a record, before the detail section, there is a charter information which shows. It will show a charter information starting up the page. So similarly, if we wanted to see those information, then we have to use the show charter attribute in the Apex detail Visualforce tag. Now let's go ahead and see that. Now, for example, let me open the Salesforce. Let's connect it. Setup. Why we are going setup? Developer console. Open the developer console. File. How to create a Visualforce page?
File.
New
New
Visualforce Page.
Visualforce page. VF underscore details
Apex detail.
component. Now, inside this, what I'm going to write, I'm directly writing the Apex detail section. Okay. Now if I give this detail section is, it is going to show a similar way. For example, if I switch to the classic, if I switch to classic, if I open an account, if I open the account, now here you see when you click, okay, this is how it displays. First, what happened here, it is displaying the charter information, right? This is the charter information. Then after that, we have a details, record details information. This is record details information. And below we have a related list. This is a detail section. These are related, contacts related, right? Opportunity and cases, open activities, whatever you see here bottom, those are related list. And this is a detail section. If you go on top, this is charter. Whatever we see here, this is a charter. Now, I need a same information in the Visualforce page. I need a same information in the Visualforce page. That means I need to pass a ID. So let me copy this ID. Okay, let's say, no, what do I need to mention in the Apex page in order to tell the Visualforce page which object?
Standard controller.
Standard controller.
Standard controller, let's say account.
Account.
Now click on preview. ID equal to the 18-digit or 15-digit ID. Do you see here? It is displaying exactly same. It is displaying exactly same. Now, if you might be confused that here, look at the URL. This is still in the Visualforce page. It is still in the Visualforce page. If I open the record, it is like URL and after that ID will be there. But this is, you are looking at the Visualforce component, Visualforce, and then you are passing the ID. When you pass the ID, do you see exactly same information it is displaying it? Basically in the detail section, charter, it is not displaying it because we have an attribute that we need to use it. Now this is exactly how it is there in the normal Salesforce. That's the same way it is there. If I click on an edit button, it will take you to the edit. It will take you to the edit. If I cancel it, it will come back to the same Visualforce tag. Whatever the Visualforce page I have implemented, it will come back to the same. Edit. I can also make changes here. For example, type prospect, click on a save. It is coming back to my Visualforce page. Prospect. Now, is it reflecting here on the account? Yes, it is reflected. All the buttons, whatever the standard buttons are there, everything works. Everything, it works. Now, for example, I don't want to see the related list information. I just need only the detail section here. I just need a detail section. Let's remove the header and footer, header and the sidebar also. Okay. Now let's go to the component. Let's remove the related list. In order to remove the related list, what I need to use it?
Sidebar is equal to false.
In order to use the related list.
Related list equals to false.
Value related.
We have an attribute called
Related list.
Related list
related list equal to
false.
true.
False.
If I say
False.
true,
If
what will happen?
All the related list will be shown.
visible,
Well, by default, it is a true, right?
yeah,
Now show header,
false.
false.
Sidebar,
False.
sidebar, false.
False.
Ma'am, for last class, do we implemented anything, any other component for Apex page apart from standard controller, show header, and sidebar?
Sorry.
I mean, sorry. In the last class, till last class, do we have any other attributes for Apex page apart from standard controller, show header, and like the sidebar?
Yes, last class we have discussed. But anyway, we will be repeating. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pass the ID. Now, do you see everything gone and related list also gone? Related list also, I cannot see. Related list, I cannot see any information here. And now, here I need a charter information. I don't need a related, but I need a charter details. So what is the attribute that we have to use it?
Show chatter,
Show header.
Show charter equal to true.
true.
If I use show charter equal to true, by default, it is a true. Why it is not working? Okay. Okay. So now it is showing only the charter information and the detail section. It is not showing any other. So basically what happened here, when I hide the show header, it is also hiding the show charter information. If I use show header equal to false and show charter equal to true. As I am saying on the page level, do not show any header. So when I mention this show header equal to false, if though we have mentioned the show charter true, we will not be able to see the details. So if you wanted to see the details, take out this attribute from the page, remove that from the page. When you remove it, you will be able to see the information. ID equal to, yes. Let's switch to the lightning. Okay, so let me preview again. Is it displaying? It is not displaying. It is not displaying. Even lightning also, it is not displaying. Lightning, when you switch to the lightning, do you see charter information in the lightning when you open the data?
No.
No.
We will not see the
ma'am.
charter information. So that's the reason in lightning, we cannot see the information, the charter information we cannot see. So only this attribute, if you are in a classic, and make sure that you are not saying here show header equal to false, then only the information box, it will show the charter information. It will show the charter information. Any questions on the detail section? Now, why do we use the detail section? It is showing exactly same as the Salesforce Classic, including the layout. Whatever the layout it has, it is displaying the same layout. There is no difference between the standard and classic, the standard and Visualforce. Whatever the classic standard is there, exactly it is displaying in the Visualforce page, including the layout, format, how it is displaying the data, everything we can see here. But what is the use of it? Sometimes what happens is when the Visualforce pages are in the example, let's assume that we have deployed it to the production. This is a real-time scenario. We deployed it to production. And client says that some of the tags are not working. The values are not displaying. For example, let's take this billing address. It is showing this field, but the value is not displaying here. For one of the Visualforce component, whatever we have implemented the Visualforce, for one of the Visualforce page, it is not displaying the value. in short time, in order to debug, what we can do is we can use a Apex detail section, Apex detail Visualforce tag. We can use Apex : Visualforce tag. By using that, I can see that what are the data is coming up. It's like I don't have a much time to fix what are the issue right now happening on it. So it is a critical and something is not working in the production. Now, if we have to understand, usually we have to recreate the scenario and debug it and understand everything, we have to do it. Instead of that, if we have a less time to debug the Visualforce page, what we can do is we can use the Apex detail. We can use Apex detail. Just simply write this Apex detail and whatever the object that they are pulling it, just put that and click on preview. So you should be able to see that is the first step of debugging. That is the first step of debugging whether the data is displaying or not. If it is already displaying in the detail section, there is no issue. Then the second part of it, yes, it's not a quick issue. It's not a quick fix. We need to identify it. Right. So we can say them that it's not about the Visualforce page. It's not about the data. It is something in the Visualforce page. We need to debug it. It is going to take time. But while we are in the call, in order to check from our side whether the data is coming from the Salesforce and displaying on the Visualforce page or not, in order to check that, we usually use the Apex : detail Visualforce page. Clear? Any question? Now, here if you see, we have a owner information, right? We have a owner information on the account. So this is the account. This is an account. Within the account, I can see there is a one field called owner. What is this owner means? Who is the owner of this account? Who is the owner of this account? Here I see this is the person. Ultimately, this is the user, right? This owner has to be there in the system. That means this is a user. This is a user. If I click on that, it will be redirected to the user detail page. It will be redirected to the user detail page. So this is about the user detail, right? So on the account, we have one of the field called owner. Who is the owner of the account? Who is the owner of the account? Possible it is a system administrator user. Possible that there is some dedicated owners will be assigned to the account owner. If you want, you can change this owner by clicking on the change. By clicking on the change, there is an icon. So what you can do is you can see whoever the owner you want. For example, right now it is a DEC batch. Now I wanted to change it to integration user. Click on save. So what will happen? The owner got changed from DEC batch to integration user. Now, in the Visualforce page, what I need is, I need information about the owner. I need information about the owner. Now, there is an owner here. Integration user is an owner. Now, I need a Visualforce page. I need a Visualforce page where I'll be passing the ID. ID should be, this is account ID. Definitely I need to pass account ID. From the account ID, capture owner details, capture owner ID and display only the owner information. I do not want to see the account information. I wanted to see the owner information. So basically what is happening here on the Visualforce page, I have implemented a Visualforce page and I'm passing the data, passing the ID, account ID I'm passing to the Visualforce page. Visualforce page is collecting the account ID. It is collecting the account ID. From the account ID, whoever is the account owner, I wanted to display the detail section of the owner ID. I don't want to display the account detail section here. So basically what I need here in the Visualforce page, display the owner details. Display the owner details. So how do we do it? So by default, this is the standard controller because we wanted to use the standard controller object account. Assume that this page has only the account information, but it needs to be displayed owner ID information. If I need an owner ID information, then what we have to do? We have to use subject. We have to use a subject. In the subject, we need to use the merge field. Merge field account dot ID.
Account dot ID.
Dot owner ID. Because I need an owner ID information. I need owner ID information. Now, let's refresh this. Click on preview. Let's go to the page. I'm copying the account ID. Now here, ID equal to, I'm passing the account ID. I'm passing the account ID. But what is the details it is displaying? It is displaying the user information. For this account, whoever is the user is there. That user information, basically user detail section. User detail section. Right? So user detail section, it is showing. If you want both of them, now I need account details as well as I need a owner ID details. Fine. Okay. Use here apex colon detail and then related list. Equal to false. Let's save this. What will happen? Can I use the both together? As per the standard Salesforce, if I open a record is going to display only one detail section. It does not display the multiple details of the object, right? It does not display. So I cannot use multiple detail section in one within the Apex page. Within the Apex page, I cannot use multiple detail section. Now you say that, okay, I need account details as well as I need a user details. It's not possible as per the standard. Either you show account detail or you show the owner detail. You cannot use Apex detail more than one. So that is the
Swapna, I'm having one
here
question
it is
here.
saying that when show charter is set to true. Okay, now let me remove this. Control X. Okay, it's allowing. Let's see whether it will display or not. ID equal to, right. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll take back that words. Okay, it is displaying the two detail section. What we were using is, we were using the show charter. We were using the show charter here. When I use the show charter, it cannot take the two detail section. Okay, using the show charter, I cannot use two detail section, but if you want to use the show charter, and then we cannot use the two detail section. Without a show charter, we can use the 2 times the detail section can be used. Now,
Swapna,
yeah,
and could you please use two at two places short? I mean, like at two places, can we use show charter is equal to true?
no, we cannot. Let's try that. Let's say only one charter related component can be specified per page.
Okay, Swapna, thanks.
Ma'am, where can we see? I mean, you're keeping the show charter as true, right? But we
Yeah.
cannot see any show charter over the preview ma'am, when we click on
Right.
preview.
So if I switch to the classic, now let's see that. Copy the ID. Let's go to the account. Click on Salesforce, copy this ID. Let's go here after question mark. ID equal to 18-digit ID. Right now we have a two details here. Okay, let me comment the first one. And now let's use the show charter. Show charter equal to, let's try true. If I give it true, what will happen? Let's pass it here, ID equal to. Okay, let's take out that subject. False. Click here to add a topic. It's not displaying here. What happened? Suddenly it gone. Let's
Show
click on this true.
Show header.
ID equal to. Okay, so here it is. Whatever you see here, the charter information. You can hide the feed or you can show the feed. Feed is nothing but charter information. Any questions? Now you can also show the created by. Whoever is the user is there created by, you can take that person created by ID and you can show the created by, similar like what we have done it for the owner ID. So in subject account dot created by ID, take it and you can show the detail section of the created by ID.
Swapna?
Yeah.
The owner we can change, right? But the created by will always remain the same, correct? We can't change the.
We don't have an option here, change.
Mhm. Okay.
Swapna, I can put this Apex detail component in page block section, right? I mean, not in page block section, in page block.
Yes, you can. So let's add the page block here. Apex colon page block. Let's give a title. Title equal to account. And let's add this Apex detail inside the Apex page block. See here, you are able to see the block, right?
Yes, Swapna, yes.
So account, again, account details. You can also add it into the page block section. You can add another section here. So let's assume that page block and inside that page block section, Apex colon page block. Section. This is about the account details. And another page block for the user details.
Subject.
Subject equal to merge field exclamation account dot owner ID. Now, what are the attributes here in order to show the title? Account details. And Apex page block section title. This is
Owner details.
Details.
Let's save. Let's remove the show charter equal to true. Perfect. So let's go back. Now this is how the outer structure. Now once I pass the ID. So first one is a account detail section and second one is a owner detail section. Ultimately, this is going to change. Your layout is going to change because you are displaying the detail section within the
In one column. One
Yeah.
column.
Yeah. So what we have to do in order to split that?
Column attribute.
So if I give a column 2, what will happen? So these all are we have discussed. I'm not saying today. These all, whatever we
Yes.
are talking right now, we have already discussed this. ID equal to.
No, basically, there's all are in 2 columns only, right?
Right, it is already in a 2 columns, but this will not change because detail section won't be changed. Though you add the column 2, also it won't change.
This is a standard page, I think.
Yeah, standard page. Now let me add both here. I'm adding the 2 detail section in the one page block section, and another one is just showing the owner details. ID equal to. Now this side account details, this side user details, right? And also below the user details. If I click on edit, what will happen? It will go to the edit the account. I can make a changes and click on save. Once I click on save, it will come back to the my detail, what are the Visualforce pages there. Clear? So using the
How
detail,
that-
you can make
um,
anything. Yeah.
Can you please tell like how that user detail came beside account detail? Can you repeat that again?
Okay. So there is an attribute called subject. Right? So this subject is nothing but the ID of the record that should provide the data for this component. So as I was explaining it, Visualforce page is expecting the account ID. But within the Visualforce page, you need a owner details. So from the account, take the owner ID and pass it into the subject. So that's what we have done. Here subject equal to account dot owner ID. That means this detail section should show only related to the owner. And this detail section should show only related to the owner. And this one related to account. For example, let's take another one. Let's create a new one. Click on new Visualforce page. Via underscore details component. Here, the first thing is that I'm going to use the standard controller. This time I'm going to use the opportunity. I'm going to use the opportunity. In the opportunity, I'll add Apex colon page block. And within this Apex page block, I'll use the Apex colon page block section. Now here title. Title equal to
Opportunity details.
opportunity details. And within this, I'll mention Apex colon details.
Detail.
Where we can pass
Related list. I don't want to show the related list. Related list equal to true. This is one detail section. On the opportunity, we have an account as well as the contact, right? If you go to the opportunity, if you click on an opportunity, and if you open any opportunity, from the opportunity, what you can do, you can go to the account, right? You can go to the account. Account information, you can directly click on the account. Now what I need to display the account details also. Along with the opportunity details, I wanted to display the account details. So what I'll do, I'll add another detail section here. Now this detail section is subject. I'll add a subject. In subject, yes, go ahead.
opportunity dot
Account
name, or we will check with account object once.
ID.
We never give the account name. It should be ID. It should be ID. Why I have
API number.
Subject is for record information.
we cannot pass the name. We have to pass the ID of the reference. Here it says account name, but when you actually see in the fields, if you go to the fields, look at this account name. Let's go to the fields, click on this, view fields. Account name is nothing but account. And whenever we wanted a ID, you have to use account ID. Account ID. So use that account ID. Then I have saved it here. Perfect. Now click on view. Now let me copy the ID of the opportunity. ID equal to. Now what happened? Two details. One is account details here and the opportunity details. I can see both the information. How it is showing the account details, though I have passed the opportunity ID, because in the subject, there is an attribute called subject. In the subject, I have mentioned opportunity dot account ID. The
Now, what if we pass, as you said, for account name, just account, right? So then it will be throw an error, right? It won't reference anything.
You cannot use account because whenever you have a lookup relationship in the object, whenever you have a lookup relationship in the object, we have to, the proper way of using is we have to use the account ID. Now let's go ahead and see that. It is displaying the account, but the proper way of the developer using it is anywhere if you take, you have to use the account ID. Don't use the account.
Okay.
It might
Ma'am,
be displaying here, but in production, it might not.
Yeah, ma'am, I have a doubt. Can we do this without relation object? Related to
Without relation object, okay. So that means between the opportunity and lead, I do not have any relationship, right? So what I'll do is,
Yes.
there is no relationship. I cannot find the ID here. So for that, what I'll do, I'll go to the lead and I'll open some lead here. Take this, provide the ID. It does not work.
Okay.
Formula expression is required for the attribute subject. That means without relationship, you cannot show the multiple detail section. There has to be relation between the two objects.
Okay.
Ma'am, everything is okay. Like you have previewed opportunity details and account details in previous thing, right? Like you have quoted out. Like how it was getting beside like the thing. The question is that.
If I add another one here, let's add another one, again the account. Let's click on save. So 2 times account information, 1 time the opportunity details.
Yes. Ma'am.
ID equal to. So by default, it displays here, it is displaying. Right?
Yes. At the end.
Yeah, it will auto layout.
Okay, I thought like as you gave column equals to 2, so it was taking opportunity details and account details as separate columns. I thought like that.
We have not given the column here.
Okay. Sure.
Is this clear? This is the detail section. We will use it when you wanted to debug quickly and identify whether the data is coming properly or not. Only that purpose we use it. Now, moving on, decode any Visualforce tag. Yes. You guys have to tell me this.
Prefix namespace.
First one is self-close tag, open Visualforce tag, close Visualforce tag, and then
Apex is prefix namespace, component name, attribute.
attribute. So decode, when we are discussing about the detail section, whenever any new Visualforce tag we are discussing it, you have to keep on thinking the decode of this. So when we were discussing the Apex detail, Apex is the prefix namespace, detail is the component name, whatever the related list, title, subject, those are the attributes. And the attributes are available only for open Visualforce tag, not for the closed Visualforce tag. Before moving to the next tag, is there any questions on the detail section?
Swapna, for subject is equal to opportunity dot account. Shall we write opportunity dot billing address? Will it get the same thing?
Billing address is a detail section.
Address is detail section, maybe.
Address.
Only for the lookup fields we can get, right, ma'am? We can
Yes,
get that.
that's what I have mentioned previously.
Yes.
Whatever the lookup fields on the object level, wherever you see the lookup field, only for those it will work.
Okay, thank
So
you.
if you go to the opportunity, how many are there? You can take a account name, you can take a owner, and you can take a created by and the last modified by.
Okay,
Because
Swapna.
on clicking on this, what will happen? It is redirected to the new ID. It has to be have a 18-digit ID. Okay, moving on to the next one. Capture user details on the Visualforce page. Now, basically, I wanted to capture a user details on Visualforce page. So how do we do that? So first of all, dollar represents a global. This is we have already discussed it. Now, we have to use a global variable to reference general information about the current user and organization on page. Use global variable to reference the general information. General information is nothing but general information of the user, general information of the organization, or general information of the profile. If you wanted to display this, then we have to use dollar and then whatever the object is there. So global variables must be referenced using the Visualforce expression syntax to be evaluated. So for example, when we say the global means the user object is a global, profile is a global, organization is a global, static resource is also global. And there are few others which we have not discussed. So right now, whenever the topic comes, we will discuss that. So dollar, if I wanted to use a user details, if I wanted to use user first name or user last name or user phone number, what I have to use? I have to combine this dollar to use dollar user, which is nothing but in the merge field. In the merge field, exclamation dollar user dot first name. If I want a last name, curly braces, exclamation dollar user dot last name. Same thing, I need a profile name. Use curly braces, exclamation dollar profile dot name. I need an organization name. Which organization you are working in? I need those information. So use the curly braces, exclamation dollar organization. So everywhere, if you observe, these are the objects we can say that these are global objects. Whenever we are referring the global information like a static resource, if you wanted to refer a file or image or PDF, anything that you wanted to refer, you have to start using the dollar. You have to start using the dollar. So curly braces, exclamation, dollar. For the static resource, we use dollar resource dot, and you will mention here the what are the name of the resource, so that you will use it. Right, this is, we have already discussed the dollar, but in Visualforce also, if you wanted to display the user field information or user information, whenever somebody opens the Visualforce page, you wanted to capture whoever is the person opened the Visualforce page, you wanted to capture the user first name and last name. User first name and last name. Now let's see that. Now we have created this Visualforce pages. So let's go here. Now I'll add another Apex page block here. In the Apex page block. Okay, so what I'll say is in the title equal to, I'll mention user, $user dot first name. In title, I'm saying the user dot first name. And within that, I'll mention here displaying account information. Account information. Now click on a preview. Let's go back to the page. Let's close this. Click on preview. Now you see here DEC. DEC is person first name. Who is the person that viewing the data? DEC. Now if I pass the ID here, ID equal to 0012, which is the account information. So DEC displaying the account information. Now I need complete information. So I'll say that hello. I'll get the exclamation organization, $organization dot name hyphen exclamation dollar profile name hyphen then user first name space exclamation dollar user dot last name. So basically I'm getting the organization name, which organization, and I'm getting the profile information and user information, right? I'm getting all the details here. Organization, profile information, user information. Let's save. See here, hello Samskara IT. Samskara IT is this org, and system administrator hyphen DEC batch. DEC batch is the user, and the profile is system administrator. Profile is system administrator.
Ma'am, here, like, how can we get to know what all are the global variables?
Right. So these are the one user profile organization static resource for now. As we go on, we will see few more. There are multiple global variables are there for now. As we have already discussed a user organization static resource. So right now, remember, whenever you wanted to use the user details, use the dollar. Whenever you wanted to get the information about the profile, use dollar profile. And whenever you wanted to get the information about the organization, use dollar organization. For static resource also, dollar resource. In the Visualforce page, if you are trying to get this information, use the dollar. Any questions before I move on? Okay, so the next one is Apex image. Apex image, Visualforce page, Visualforce tag. This is the next one, Apex colon image. So far, what we have learned,
Apex colon detail.
Affects column details and attributes.
Global.
Displaying global variables.
yeah. So the next one is Apex image, Visualforce tag. Now, Apex colon image is a self-closed Visualforce tag. Use Apex image to display the images on Visualforce page. To display the images on Visualforce page. Now, syntax of this Apex colon image, either you can pass a direct URL. Direct URL, we can pass it from the Google. You can capture any image URL and you can pass directly here. Another way is you have to pass a value. Now we will see how to do this value passing, how it will take it. Now when we pass this Apex colon image URL, how Visualforce is taking this URL and how it is converting this. Let's see that. And before that, let's talk about the attributes. ID, like every Visualforce tag has an ID. URL is basically it is a string. The path to image display, whatever the image you wanted to display, that URL we need to provide it here, either URL or a static resource. Value is an object data attribute type. This is also image displayed or expressed either as a URL or as a static resource. Height and width, you can decide it. What is the image height and width? Alternate, ALT is nothing but alternate text. In case if your image is not displaying it, if you wanted to show some text message, then you can give ALT. ALT equal to, you can give some description about the image. So an alternate text description of the image. Title is a tooltip. The text displays as a tooltip when the user's mouse pointer over the component. Now let's go ahead and see that. Okay, let's create a new one, new Visualforce page. VF underscore.
Swapna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't we use Apex output field for the global text, global object?
What do you mean by output link?
See, we have something called output field, right? Output field tag, Apex tag, which we learned last class. Yeah. So I was just trying to display the global variables using output field. Okay. Rather than displaying everything inside the title, I thought I will create output field and I'll display username, user last name, organization name, likewise. Okay, but it gives error. Isn't it possible?
In dollar, after dollar, what you are mentioning?
After dollar user dot last name or whatever, user dot first name.
which attribute, which Visualforce tag are you using? Output text or
Output field. Output field.
output field? Output field. We have not yet discussed, I guess, output field.
No, we did output field. We did, I guess.
We have discussed. Output field is the reference fields if you wanted to display.
We discussed output label, not output field.
Is it? I think we have done it already. But okay, whatever. If not, then sorry.
Okay, so let's see the image one. So Apex colon page. So inside the Apex colon page, what we are discussing, Apex colon image, right? Yeah. So in order to display the image on the Visualforce page, we use the Apex colon image. We use the Apex colon image. For example, I have one image in the Salesforce. So there is an image. This is the Salesforce image. Salesforce hyphen developer hyphen network hyphen logo. Right? I wanted to use the same URL in image. Apex colon image. We can give ID, for example, ID equal to image 1. And then we have a URL. URL equal to directly you can place the URL. You can decide height and width. Height equal to, let's assume that 150. And width equal to, let's assume 100. Self-close tag, save. Now let's see this, let's preview. It's not coming, it's a width is 55. Let's give 55 and this is height is 100. Let's click on save. $150. For the images, you keep on has to try this till it get
Also,
perfect.
we
Sorry,
have to increase weight.
width. Yes, let's see that. Click on preview. Okay, width is, click on inspect. Over this, again click on inspect. Width is 55. Let's change this. Okay, more. So let's take this. And this should be fine. $392. Oh, okay. Pixel. Control S.
Sapna, maybe you can try without height and width. Okay. Okay.
So let's take this 392. Okay. This is too much. Okay. Now let me put this image from here. Let me take out this and let's add it into the existing page, which we have here. Let's save this. Okay. So this is the image, how we are giving it, just passing the URL. We are just passing the URL. Whatever the URL is there, directly I am passing it. Directly I am passing the information. Now, for example, I don't want to take it from the Google. There is an image in my desktop. There is an image in my desktop. I wanted to show that image. For example, this is the image that I have. Okay, this is the image that I have. I wanted to place this image on Visualforce page. So first, what I need to do, we have to go to static.
Upload.
First, I need to upload it from the local system to the Salesforce.
Salesforce.
So to upload in Salesforce, we have to go to the static resource.
Resource.
Click on new. Give a name called CDCA logo and choose the file. Downloads. CDCA logo. Click on public. Save. What I'm doing, I'm uploading file from my local system to the Salesforce. Because if anybody, not only me, in our team, if anybody opens up this Visualforce page, whatever the Visualforce page that we are seeing it, if anybody open this page, everybody should be able to see the icon or the image, right? Everybody should be able to see the image. Now what I'll do is, now I have loaded into the Salesforce. Now the second thing is that I need to reference that image, in Visualforce. We can do it in two ways. One, we have already discussed about the Apex colon, how we can load it, the resource. We have already discussed the tag.
Global.
No,
This one,
there
static.
is a one way is Apex colon image. There is another Visualforce tag which we can load it. One way is Apex colon image. There is already we have discussed. There is another way to load another way to refer the image PDF. What is the other Visualforce tag?
Resource.asset name.
Sorry.
The resource.asset name, the global variable.
There is another Visualforce tag which we have discussed where we reference the directly. If you go to this static resource, go back, and custom CSS. We have implemented this custom CSS and we referred it. Where did we refer this? How did we do that? How did we do that?
We created a class, style sheet. We created style sheet.
Apex colon style sheet. By using the apex colon style sheet, we report this.
Dollar, by using global field, dollar with that reference field we have used.
Right. So we have used their apex colon style sheet, and there we have used the value equal to. What we did, we have used the URL for the function which we have learned. URL for dollar resource dot whatever the custom CSS. Right? This is what we have used it in order to refer the style sheet, which we have already discussed. This is one way where you can refer a file from the static resource to Visualforce page. The other way is image. The other way is image. In the image, if you wanted to refer a static resource, the file which we have loaded, if you wanted to refer that, ID equal to, let's give it as a image 2. And now here URL I cannot give. We have to give value. Why? I'll tell you. If I give a value here, and then within this value, curly braces exclamation resource dot, what is our static resource name?
CD logo.
CDCA logo. CDCA logo. Now let's give some width. $350 and then height equal to some 300. Let's say.
Swapna, dollar we need to use.
Yeah, dollar resource. Thank you. We can't preview. Right? This is the logo which is appearing. Now here we have used a value. Whether I use value or a URL, ultimately what happens, it converts into the source. There is a attribute in the HTML. In the HTML, we have an image tag, right? So what Salesforce does here, whether you pass a URL or value, ultimately it is going to put it into the source. It is put into the source. In the source, if it is a URL, it will take the complete information. If it is a resource slash, what will happen? Ultimately, it will go to the Samskara IT. See here, current source, Samskara IT slash resource slash whatever the ID. This is the 16748. What is this ID here? If I go to this is the ID, right? If I click on open view, so this is the ID. So every image that you are loading in the static resource, Salesforce generates a 18-digit ID here. Salesforce generates 18-digit ID for every image and the file. So value equal to dollar resource dot, whatever the name of the resource we are passing. But ultimately what Salesforce is doing, Salesforce is converting this into the, if it is a value, it will add your basic Salesforce URL slash, and it will take a files slash, sorry, this is not. So it will be basic URL dot vf.force.com and then the resource name slash ID, and then it is having the name of the file. Name of the file. Is it clear? Let me reduce this. $50 to $50. Let's refresh. Much better. Let's reduce it a little bit, 150, 100. Oh. $200 and 100. Okay, so is it clear? Image. In image, we have an attribute called What are the attributes do we have?
URL value.
With ID, URL.
ID, URL, height, width. Now, let's go back to the PPT. This is about the Apex image. Now, the next one which we are going to discuss is Apex : tabPanel. Apex : tabPanel has open Visualforce tag and close Visualforce tag. And every page area that displays a set of tabs. So basically, if you are using a tab panel, you have to use another tag called Apex : tab. So this is the outer box. Apex : tab panel. Apex : tab panel is a outer box. Within this, you will be having a set of tabs. You will be having a set of tabs that is implemented. So all these setup tabs should be inside the Apex : tab panel. Inside the Apex : tab panel. So syntax will be Apex : tab panel open, and then you will have a set of tabs. Then you will close Apex : tab panel. Open Visualforce tag, close Visualforce tag. Within this, we will be mentioning the set of tabs. Now we will see what are the attributes that are available for the tab panel. By default, ID will be there. Next, switch type. Switch type is nothing but whenever you, for example, you have a different tabs. So usually this is one tab, this is another tab, and this is another tab. You are implementing these tabs. Now, when you click on this tab, there is a page gets open. When you click on this tab, it will open another page. So based on the, for example, right now you have clicked on this one. Now everything is displayed related to this tab. So this is a tab 1 and tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, right? So these all the tabs sits inside the tab panel. This outer one is called tab panel. The outer one is called tab panel. So within the tab panel, we'll have a set of tabs. This is tab panel. Now, whenever you click on this, it will open the page related to tab 2. If you click on the tab 1, it will open the page related to tab 1. Tab 3, as soon as you click on it, it will open the page related to tab 3. If you click on it, tab 4, the page gets open related to the tab 4. So based on this tab, immediately the page has to switch, right? As soon as I click on this, the entire section of this page should be switched. Switching between the each tab will happen multiple ways. Switching between the tab will happen multiple ways. What are those? Switch type client, switch type server, switch type Ajax. Switch type Ajax. So if you don't mention the switch type, by default, it will take it as a server. So when you use switch type equal to server, that time what will happen? Little bit slow you will see. When you click on this tab 1, there is a slow response you will see. As soon as you click on in tab 2, slow response you will see. But when you use a switch type equal to client, when you use switch type equal to client compared to server, it will be fast. Between the switches of this, it will be a little bit faster. Ajax is when you are using the JavaScript in the Visualforce page. So that time if you are writing any logic, that time we use the Ajax. But by default, if you are using the Apex tabPanel, we always use the client. We always use the client. So possible value include is client. And the next one is selected tab. Selected tab is the name of the default selected tab when the page loads. As soon as the page is loaded, as soon as the Visualforce page is loaded, I wanted to see tab 2. Ideally, what will happen? What will happen ideally? Ideally, as soon as my page is loaded, it will directly go to the tab 1. But instead of going to the tab 1, as soon as the page is loaded, this is my page. As soon as the page is loaded, I wanted to land on to tab 2, or I wanted to directly land on tab 3. Instead of going into the tab 1 or tab 1, I directly wanted to land onto the tab 2. So that for that, we use the selected tab. Selected tab is by default, whenever the page is loaded, I wanted to load that particular tab. Tab class is a styles that if you want to apply any styles to the tab, like as soon as you select this tab, now as soon as you select it, you want a blue color. Now apply the blue color. As soon as you select this one, then apply this. So whenever we go to the different tabs in Salesforce, what will happen? It will highlight, right? Similarly, if you click on the tab 3, it shows in the different color. So that can be done using the tab class. Inactive tab class. Next attribute is inactive tab class. Tab class is the one which are active. When you click on the tab, that means that is an active tab. That should be in a different color. What are the inactive tabs are there? Inactive tabs also, I want a different color. So you can use a CSS for the inactive tab classes. Title, it's a tooltip. Whenever anybody hover onto the tab, if you wanted to show more details about the tab, you can use the title. Height, width, what is the tab panel height? If you wanted to use the tab panel height, specific height 50% or anything, if you wanted to use, you can use the height and width. This is about the tab panel. When we are implementing the Visualforce page using the Apex tab panel, we have to use the Apex tab. Tab panel is a parent, Apex tab is a child. So this is a self-closed Visualforce tag. Apex tab must be a child of Apex tab panel. Has to be within the Apex tab panel. Syntax, first you have to write the Apex tab panel. Within that, you have to use the Apex tab. If you want to implement more than one tab, you can use it. But all the tabs should be used within the tab panel. Within the tab panel. Now, Apex tab is also having the attributes, ID by default, label, what the text to display on the tab header, name, the name of the tab. This is for internal purpose. I'll show that. Style, if you wanted to apply any style. to the Apex tab. Now, disabled is if you wanted to by default deactivate the tab. I need a tab, but put it as a disabled one. If the user is clicking on the tab, also should not open that tab. So this is a Boolean value that specifies whether the tab can be selected and viewed. Next, title string, the text to display as a tooltip when the user's mouse pointer hovers the component. So these are the Apex tab. Now let's go ahead and implement. Now I'll use it here. Now what I'm going to implement right now. So we have 4 tabs, right? First tab, when the user click on a first tab, tab 1, show the image. Tab 2, display details section. Account details, display the account details. Tab 3, display account few fields, account fields. Some of the fields, let's display it. Right, tab 4, let's keep it as a blank. Keep it as a blank. Maybe we can use the disabled. Tab 4 should be there, but it is disabled. This is what we are going to implement. So I have 4 tabs here within the tab panel. This is on top. I have a tab panel. Tab panel. Within this, we have 4 tabs. We have to implement 4 tabs. Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Okay, so tab 1, I need to write here. Inside the tab, I need to implement logic Apex : image. Because tab 1 should display the image. Tab 2, what should we need to use it?
Apex : detail,
Apex : detail.
merge field.
Sorry, merge fields.
Subject equal to
Account details, right?
Yeah. So account details, or that for that we use the Visualforce tag called Apex : detail. Now tab 3, what we are going to use? We are going to display few fields. So in order to display the few fields, we are going to use the Apex : output field.
Output field.
We are going to use output field.
Field.
So tab 4 is nothing. Basically, this is a disabled one.
Ma'am, I am having a doubt. Like here, Apex : detail, and last time you have said Apex : output field. So like both were like similar, ma'am. It looks like similar.
Is all the information it is going to show here. Okay, so
Exactly how Salesforce going to.
let's take a detail of a owner information. Okay, instead of account, I wanted to display the owner details. If it is getting confused. Okay, tab 2 should be owner details. So for that, I need to use the Apex : detail, and here output field, which is going to display the account fields. Clear? So this is what we are going to implement it. And everything will be sits inside the Apex page. This is Apex page. Now this is what we are going to implement it. Now first I'll go ahead and I'll use Apex : tabPanel. Within the tabPanel, first I needed 4 tabs, Apex : tab. This is the first one. And next I need 4 Apex tabs I need. Perfect. So the first tab name is, let's put it as a label equal to CDCA logo. This is the first one. Second tab, label equal to user
Owner details.
Owner information.
owner information. Yes. Owner information. Third one,
Account details.
account information. Fourth one, label, let's give it as a other. Let's give it as a other. Now these are the 4 tabs. Within the first one, first tab, I need to put an image. So let's take this image and let's place it into the second tab. So I'll use the same width, 250 here also. And height 200. Okay. Second one is owner details. I need owner details. So I'll take this Apex details. I'll place it into the tab 2. And the tab 3 is, we need some information, right? We need an account information. So what I'll do is, I'll use the Apex : output
Field.
field. For the output field,
Value.
value equal to, let's take
Curly braces. Exclamatory.
exclamation account dot.
Account dot
ID.
name. ID.
What else we have?
Billing details. Billing postal code.
Billing postal code.
Rating spelling.
Phone number. Email.
Phone number. Let's take mobile.
Ma'am, like basically, if you use detail component means like we'll be getting everything over there, ma'am.
Yes, all the fields you will get it.
All the fields, okay. Output field means like that particular field,
That
right?
particular field. What are the field you are expecting? Only those fields will be there.
So that is the only difference between those two components.
Yes.
Okay.
Phone, email, billing postal code, billing street. Account email. Email, it won't be there. Yes, we do not have an email on the account level. What else we have on the account level?
Company details.
Company details. More. Billing. Zip.
Billing street or some sort to have your country.
Okay, billing country. Perfect. Billing postcode.
Postal code, it seems.
Does it postal code or zip code? Postal code. Billing, postal code. Perfect. This is what we have discussed in the paint. Right? That's what we have implemented. This is the first tab.
Swapna, fourth tab we have to disable, right?
Yeah, fourth one we have to disable. That we will come later. Tab 1, image. And next tab is owner. And after that, we have a tab called account information. This is tab 2. Tab 3. And then tab 4. Now first let's see this, how it is displaying it, then we will play on it. Click on preview. Let's open the, okay. Now here, do you see this? CDCA logo, owner information. Let's pass the ID here. ID equal to 0012. Why it is showing these details here? Because we have this.
Yes.
Let's comment out this. Refresh. ID equal to ID equal to 0012, account information, CDCA logo, and then owner details. It is displaying the owner information here. And then after that, we have a account information. Why it is displaying like this? Account, this is the account ID, and this is
Output label also we have to mention.
table.
Need of output label.
Label.
So what I'll do is I'll add apex colon page block. And within this, add a page block section, apex colon page block section. And then within this, I'll put a output field.
Ma'am, if we use input text, then output label is necessary for this apex dot output field. No need of that. No need of output field, like output label.
Account details. Now let's go ahead and see this. ID equal to logo, owner information, and account information. Coming perfectly fine? Yes? Right? So
Yes.
output field is directly takes the label and value from the object. You do not need an output label. When we are doing the input, that time we need an output label.
Okay, so
Okay, so if you use the page block and page block section, you will be able to display the information here. Now, other is not showing any details. First one, image. As soon as I go here, image it is showing. When I click on the owner, it is displaying all the user information. Account information, it is displaying the account detail section. Other is blank. Now, and the fourth one is should be disabled. So let's go ahead, disable it. So we have a attribute called disabled. Disabled equal to true. Let's save this. Go back to this. See here, this is disabled. I cannot click on this. Not even it is allowing me. Right? It is not able to allow this. I'm not able to click it. It is just shows it, but it is a disabled. It just shows, but it is a disabled. Now,
Hi, Sapna.
yeah.
So, I mean, this page also we can deploy on the like on the any account record page or any contact record page.
Can you repeat that question again?
I'm saying like this tab panel whenever we are clicking any tab, so it's saying the details of the record, right?
Yes.
Like logo, owner information, account details. So these we can deploy on the any record, on the account record, on any contact record, anywhere, like using a builder.
You are talking about the deploy, right?
Yes, I mean deploy means like we can show it on the account record page as well, like how we are deploying on the
Yes, you
the
can show it on the account page. You can place the Visualforce page on. For example, you wanted to place it here. Okay, you wanted to, before the opportunity details, you wanted to show here the information. We can do that. So that is, it's yet to come, that topic. We can place it on the record page also.
Oh, so this will work only in the classic mode or it will work on the lightning as well?
Right now, we are in a classic. So we are seeing the information in the classic. Now, if you wanted to place it in the lightning, so it has to, Visualforce page should have some additional features. So if we add those additional features, definitely we can add it into the lightning.
No. Do we have any kind of option like on the lightning page, like when we editing the page or any lightning record page editing it? So there we have some, the left side we have some Visualforce component, something we can drag and drop that.
Are you talking
pages.
about the edit page?
Yes, whenever we are editing any record page, any account or any opportunity, any page.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying yet. So let me show you that. Edit page.
Yeah, so
Standard,
do we?
definitely we will not have. So here what is happening, it is displaying only the lightning component. It doesn't display the Visualforce pages here.
Okay. But in the standard, we don't have such kind of page, Visualforce page, right?
Yes, we are yet to come that point. So just hold on it. We have not yet reached there. We are just learning how to use the Visualforce pages.
Okay.
So here the fourth one is disabled, right? So for example, now let's add the page block for this also. I wanted to show the user details as well along with this. Let's take on here in the page block. Let's shows the another page block. Apex colon page block. Here, let's show title equal to hello exclamation $user dot first name exclamation $user dot last name. Fine. So within this, I'll say that I'll just display some text displaying account information. So tab 3 has account information, which is also showing the details. Let me pass ID. Find owner information, it will just show the user in details, account information. Okay. Hello. Okay, now this is what is happening. Now what is happening as soon as I load it? As soon as the page is loaded, by default, it is landing onto the first page. By default, it is landing onto the first page. Now, what I need is, by default, it should go to the owner information. By default, it should go to the owner information. As soon as the page is loaded, it should highlight the second tab. It should highlight the second tab. Now, how can we do that? On the tab panel, we have attribute called selected tab. Selected tab. Now this selected tab should be the whatever the name, like in tab we have another attribute called name, right? This is the name we have. Why we use this name? Because if somebody wants to call, if another tab is wanted to talk to the, by default, it has to load this. Let's take this as a name 1. And here it's a name 2. So I wanted to, by default, load the tab 2. Whatever the name is there in the selected tab should be matched with name. Should be matched with the name. Now, in the tab panel, we have a multiple tabs. By default, anyway, it will land onto the tab 1. But if you want a specific tab, then you mention the name of the tab. Mention the name of the tab. Whatever the name of the tab is there, just put that name of the tab in the selected tab. Right? Now let's go ahead and see. Let's refresh. What happened? By default, it is loading onto the page. On the tab. What are the tab is there? By default, it is landing onto the owner information. It's not even going to the CDCA logo. If I mention the account information, what is the name of this tab? So let's put it as a name 3. Name the tab as a name 3. Now, if I say here, selected tab should be name 3. It is matching. Now, as soon as it is load, what happened? By default, it is landing onto the account information. By default, it is landing onto the account information. We have other attributes in tab panel. So far, we have seen the selected tab. There is another one which is called tab class. Inactive tab class, right? So those are styling, tab class, inactive tab class. So inactive tab class and the tab class, these are the CSS styling. CSS styling. So what I'll do is I'll implement a style here. Now for the active one, what I'll do is I'll just say that background color, let's put it as some name. Let's take a hash something 236 FBD. This is also one color. And then normal color equal to white. And then let's take, that's it. Okay, and inactive. For the inactive tab, background color, let's say light gray, and color, maybe we'll take black, right? Perfect. These are the ones. So I have implemented the style called active and inactive tab. Now in the tab panel, I'll use the tab class equal to active and inactive tab class equal to inactive tab.
Here, style sheet attribute won't work, man.
Sorry?
Style sheet, like generally,
It works.
like styling.
It works. You can also apply the style sheet. You can put everything into the style sheet and you can place it. Ultimately, you will be having a name of it, right? Whether it is a style sheet or if you are implementing it, you have to give a name of it.
Okay.
Let's keep this blue. Right, as soon as the one which is selected, it is changing the name. Right? This is why it is showing the other is it's not clickable basically. It's not clickable, it is a disable. If I remove the disable, true. See, it's gone. And let's put background image, none. See, it's changed. Right? If I click on this owner information, it is changing. Because by default, there is a background is applied onto the tab. That is applied by Salesforce. Salesforce applying some background. If I remove the background here, see, by default, Salesforce is applying this. Whatever the color is there, it is applying. Now I do not want the background, any color or any image. Owner information, CDCA logo, account information, right? Now, somebody asked about the $user. Now, $user first name, apex colon, output field, value equal to, does this work or not? Right?
Yeah.
Dollars are a global field. Now, output field is, it only shows the related object fields. It only shows the related object fields. Now, if you want account ID dot user, let's say this. Oh, sorry. Okay, where is it? Now, in the account, I have a user information. Account dot user ID. You cannot even take that user. Output field is basically, it is a related to whatever that particular object level, what are the fields you wanted to refer. Why am I giving the user? It should be owner. You cannot take the user because at the account level, you will not have a user. Do we have a user information on the account level? If I go to the account, do we see on the user information? We cannot see the user information. We will see owner information. We will see created by. We will see owner information created by. But right now you are asking from the user object. From the user object, which is nowhere it is connection. User object is a different here, and whatever the owner details or is there. Basically, when we say $user is nothing but whoever is logged in user. $user is nothing but whoever is logged in, whoever is viewing the user, that person user. This person is whoever is clicking on the Visualforce page. Right? That we cannot put it into the output field. Because account level, we won't store the whoever is logged in. There is no standard field called whoever is viewing this particular page, capture those user information. We do not have on the account level. So your output field is only related fields which are related to the object. Only those we will show.
Thanks.
Any questions? Whatever we have written the program, any questions on this? So far what we have discussed, apex colon.
Detail.
And
Apex colon tab label.
Colon image.
tabPanel, not tab label.
tabPanel. So tabPanel, tab. Global field.
College image.
Image.
And apex colon output field. Okay. So let's go on. Apex detail used for
To print
In order to get the particular object information.
Detail information of the object.
detail information to display the standard detail page for the particular object. Example for the global variable, how to capture the global variable in Visualforce page.
user profile organization.
Profile organization.
And we
Particular.
bracket
Source.
dollar users dot
Resource dot name.
resource name. Yes.
So we will be using in the merge field, curly braces, exclamation dollar, user dot first name or last name, curly braces, exclamation dollar, profile dot name, curly braces, exclamation dollar, organization dot name, curly braces, exclamation dollar, resource dot resource name. Which Visualforce tag do we use to display the image on Visualforce page?
Apex colon image.
Image.
Apex colon image.
Apex
Apex
colon.
colon image. If you have to reference the resource file, how do you do that?
Value is equal to flower brackets, exclamatory dollar, resource file name.
Right. How to implement Apex tab in Visualforce page?
Inside the Apex tab panel.
Inside the Apex tab.
That tabPanel, yes.
Okay, homework. So this is the page. Basically, display the opportunity details page, no related list. Show a charter message here, whatever the show field is there, show charter message here. Okay, and the image. You can take any image, Salesforce image. Profile name, display here the profile name. And the organization name hyphen profile name hyphen DEC, what are the username, first name, and next opportunity details. This is one homework. Second one, write a program using the Visualforce page to display the different tab. Tab 1, image, Salesforce logo. Take Salesforce logo or any image. Tab 2, opportunity details. Now here, if you see the background is a different color. Do you see here the background in the tab 2?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a different color. It's not a same color. How to use that? How to implement that? So on,
That's
sorry, how to implement it?
that's a color of page block. I think so.
On Apex tab, we have a style. So put background, colon, let's add pink. I'm just adding the pink right now. Let's go to the page. ID equal to
Ma'am, the background spelling, ma'am.
background.
where did we add it? Owner ID? It won't display here because the page is fully blocked there. Let's add it into the account information. Background, see, it is changing, right? Whatever in the homework is there, it is a different color. That color is whatever we are showing it. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so it has a different color at the tab level. And then third one is display few fields on the opportunity. Tab 4 is other. Just keep it as a other. No information on that. Total 4 tabs. First tab image, second tab opportunity details, third tab opportunity fields, few opportunity fields. Let's do this way. Tab 2 display the account details. account details. And tab 3, display few fields on the opportunity. And tab 4, other. Tab 2 has this also, hello system administrator, which is a profile. And this org ID, profile name, and user first name, last name.
But ma'am, I have a doubt. If in one Visualforce page, only one object we can standard.
Yes,
If
only one.
second tab is
If I try to give another one, let me open the Visualforce page. Oh, I have an account. Now, are you talking about this?
yes.
Multiple object?
Yeah.
System won't allow. We can pass only one.
So ma'am, in homework, tab 2 is from account object and tab 3 from object opportunity object.
Yeah.
So
From opportunity, you can take a account details. That's what we have
okay.
detailed here. Owner ID we are showing it, but we are passing the account ID. From the account ID, we are taking the owner ID and displaying the owner details. Similarly,
Okay.
opportunity dot account ID, if you pass it, you will be able to see the detail section of the account.
Yeah, ma'am. If there is no lookup relationship, then that case.
Sorry, can you louder, please?
If there is no lookup relationship between them, in that case.
Are you talking about detail?
No, account and opportunity objects. If there is no lookup relationship.
Okay, if there is no lookup relationship, what is the next? How can I use the detail section? Is that the question or?
Homework, ma'am. In homework, you gave
Okay.
account to opportunity, right? So
okay, if you do not have an account name here, that's what you are saying.
Yeah, ma'am. And there is no relation account and opportunity objects. If there is no lookup relationship, in that case, what we do?
By default,
we can record that.
by default, Salesforce is giving the relationship here. Every opportunity should have an account.
Okay.
Okay, so it has.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you please? I mean, you will. This homework you can also upload on the PPT now.
Yes, I am doing. Yes, we are loading the homework.
Okay. What is the homework one? I left it, I think.
Okay, just a second. There is another one which I forgot to tell. In the Apex detail section, when you hover this, for example, right, let me pass ID here. ID equal to account ID, right? So now I have a owner information. If I hover this, will I be able to see the inline editing? I cannot see, right? But if I add inline editing, there is an attribute called inline editing true. So if I add an inline editing, what will happen? Will I be able to edit similar like how we have in the Lightning? Owner information. See here, I can able to highlight it. I can able to, it is showing the inline editing, which I can enter the number directly here. And I can click on save. If I click on edit, what used to happen, I used to redirect it to the account page. But here, if I click on the inline editing, I can able to modify this information. This is displaying on the object that we are referring. Here, standard controller object is there. For example, inline editing, I need it onto the owner ID. Owner details, I need a inline editing on the owner details. Is it showing here? It is not showing. That means inline editing is available only for the one which page is referencing it. The page which is looking for the object, only that object will have inline editing. If you add any other object details, if you are showing here, the details of user details or anything, you cannot edit on this. Though you have a inline editing, you will not be able to edit. But if you remove this, or if you remove this, you are just showing the account details. When you show the account details, see, the inline editing is applicable. I can change billing address. I can add shipping address. I can change the website, similar like a lightning. But this is only applicable to the object that this page is referencing it.
So you meant to say, ma'am, like we are using a user object over there. That's why it's not
Yes.
giving us to edit those. Because
we are
I think
showing the owner details, not the direct object. Whatever the Visualforce page is referencing it. Visualforce page has a standard controller account, but we are displaying the detail section of the owner information. So when we are showing the different details, different object details, where the relationship is there, different details, if we are showing, the inline edit does not apply. Only it will apply to the page, the object that is referenced directly on the page. What are the standard controller is there if you are viewing the details of the same object which is mentioned on the standard controller.
okay.
Okay, homework, any questions on the homework? To homework, and also I have mentioned the trial head. There are 2 trial head links which I posted in the chat. Any questions? Okay, then we are done with the session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you. Sri Lakshmi, any questions? Yes,
No,
Raj.
Swapna. Thank you.
Thank you. Rajkumar, any questions? Okay, I'm ending the session.